Local and live, covering Franklin and Washington counties, it's Let's Talk Tri-State with Tiny and Katy.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Tri-State, powered by HomeRight Windows and Doors in Waynesboro, the right choice, winner of the 2024 Best of the Tri-State Award.
Our next guest today is a personal friend of Tiny's. This is the first time I'm meeting you, but we have Bill Kohler from Mainstreet, Waynesboro, and you are the Director of Economic Development.
That's a pretty fancy title, isn't it?
I love it, yes.
And it's one of those titles that means you kind of do a little bit of everything. Matter of fact, today I was picking up flowers and picking up some trash in our Main Street park. So in addition to doing facade grants and working with an intern on some banners that we're going to hang about downtown, so there's never a dull moment, always something going on.
I am not a Waynesboro resident, so tell me, what is downtown Waynesboro? I mean, I know like the area.
Yes, well, Main Street Waynesboro, we're a nonprofit. We've been in existence over 26 years, and we work with the sole mission of fixing up downtown Waynesboro, and that comes in many forms, but it's mostly supporting our businesses that are there and actively recruiting new ones to fill in vacancies and things. And we're basically fueled by volunteers. We have a great staff, myself and Carrie Krebs, and we have a good, like I said, a good group of volunteers that really supports us, and we raise money through our events and from donations from the community. The community has really been very supportive of us. We've been blessed, and I think a lot of it's because we are doing things that we're showing them tangible things that people can say, wow, look what my support, my hours, my funds, my involvement, and they can see a difference. And
Bill, I used to live in the area about 10 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I lived in Hagerstown, but I've always been very close with Tiny, who lives in Waynesboro. I moved away for about 10 years and then came back, and I was blown away with how much Waynesboro has expanded.
Wow.
There are so many wonderful businesses and breweries, and it really seems like a very flourished area, and there's something for everybody.
Well, and that's kind of what I think we kind of, our vision was to bring people downtown, but you can't just say, hey, put up a sign and say, hey, come downtown. You gotta get a plan and try to figure out how to do that. And we're just very blessed and very happy that people really have kind of bought into kind of our ideas and plans and activities. And we've created some civic pride, as Dan knows. I mean, history is big in Waynesboro. He might have had my dad as a teacher at the high school. I taught local history for many years. He might be too young though. But see, that got me some points.
I didn't go to Waynesboro schools.
Oh, okay.
See, I graduated from South Hagerstown High School.
Okay, gotcha.
And then came up here. Yes,
came back. Okay.
I know. I feel like I've lived in and in the best way possible, lived in Waynesboro forever.
Oh, okay.
But Bill is. So there's one thing, it's one thing to be involved, it's one thing to put together events. Bill is not just in the putting together of events, it is the day of execution, to the point where on all the patriotic events, Bill dresses up like Uncle Sam, basically.
Uncle Sam or Father Time or Christmas or Willy Wonka or
Bill, you're
Albert
never
Dumbledore.
hard to find. When I show up like to the tree lighting or the parade day, I never have to wonder where is Bill. Just look for the only person dressed in a costume.
Yes,
which is great.
yes. And that's easy for then other people to find me.
Yeah.
Good or bad. I mean, that could be a double-edged sword. But I think what I decided, with what I thought we would have some success in this venture was to have some fun, and to say, look, well, we all know life is too short, and any chance you get to, to kind of have some fun and, wear some fun costumes. And I'm getting to the point where I need a new closet. I mean, we're getting, for all the events we do, and again, it's and then people point that out, and being in the parade in my Uncle Sam costume and my red, white, and blue chucks. Yeah. It's just a fun thing, and I get to take a lot of pictures with people, and but it connects them with Main Street in downtown Waynesboro, and I know it's a big kind of some big shoes I'm leaving for whenever the next person comes in, but I think it's an opportunity really for people to see that, hey, you can do a good job and do good things, but also have some fun while you're doing it.
That the person who's responsible for this is actively participating.
Yes.
It's kind of like everything from leadership. more or less flows downhill. So it's when you see the leader not engaged, it's easy to say, have that mentality, well, if they don't care, why should I? But if you see a person really caring, willing to dress up, willing to get in a dunk tank or whatever the case may be.
Climb ladders,
do whatever it is.
Plug, because we have to plug, the Antietam dairy truck every time it comes to one of our events. We got to plug it in, climb a ladder. And so even though my board of directors has banned me from climbing ladders, so I got to be careful with that. But so those are the kind of things you do. And I think, and people see that and it's contagious, and just like, with our I Love the Borough shirts and things, that's something that people can take with them. And knowing that it says Mainstreet Waynesboro on the bottom, and it creates some civic pride that, people can take with them and say, hey, I was a part of that, or I am a part of what we're doing downtown.
How long have you been with Mainstreet Waynesboro?
It'll be over 8 years now. Sometimes it seems like 8 weeks, other times it seems longer because it's kind of, become entrenched in what I do. And, and I've kind of, I was looking for something. I was a newspaper guy for many years, and I was looking for something, kind of a little bit more meaningful, a little bit where I could have some more control over my future and my professional career. And this, it was very serendipitous the way things worked out that that I came into this position, and I hit the ground running, literally.
How many vacant storefronts did you have then versus now?
Well, we wanted to do pop-up shops, and that's how it all came to be. And we had basically from Pizza Hut to Turkey Hill in Waynesboro, there were 19 vacant storefronts that could potentially we could eventually do pop-up shops, which you guys know what those are, where you bring people in and for a weekend or two, and now we have literally like 3 that are viable.
Wow.
And we're still working, trying to figure those out. And matter of fact, I was on the phone a little bit this morning and yesterday trying to figure out some matches. I feel like a matchmaker is a big part of my job. Is I have a list of businesses who have expressed interest in coming to downtown, and trying to find something that would suit them with rent and space and parking and all those essentials that that they need. So it's been and like I said, it's been kind of where we get people downtown, and I think people see that, and then we get them into these buildings. A lot of these storefronts were dark, messy, and kind of, lack of a better word, kind of frightening a little bit, and so with the pop-up shops and some other projects, we did a downtown window project where we literally, the ones that we didn't have for pop-ups, the next year, we got some funds to clean these places up and put like pretend windows in there, and we did like 6 of them, and it wasn't really budgeted. I kind of did it on a whim, and it worked out to the point of now all those places are filled. So that kind of got me off the hook with with not budgeting that, but I just felt like, hey, I had some people that were really interested and really creative, and we made a flower store, a pet store, a paint store, and one other one I can't remember, but and it got people looking in windows. And we also did another gallery where we got artwork from the high school actually and filled up a window, and it's kind of worked. I mean, it's things like that, and we have some. I have a couple big projects coming up that I think that we can kind of maybe use that theory to fill some of those vacant remaining spots.
What do you think, and I know you've already talked about fun, you have a lot of fun with what you're doing. What are some other keys to success for the revitalization of Waynesboro?
Well, I mean, first thing is, you got to get people down there, like I mentioned earlier, and when my first kind of 6 months in the job, I kind of looked around, asked a lot of questions, and kind of saw what we were doing and said, hey, we need more people down here, and finding ways to do that with events. And my first full year, we did a lot. We added a lot of events that they're still going on now, including several that Tiny is involved with. And I think that was a big thing. And the other thing is taking care of what's there, instead of like always, and that's easy for a lot of people in my position around the area, to always worry about what you don't have instead of what you do have. And I think that was important where, we're blessed with, we have Sapporo Japanese restaurant, which is like the best. She just opened a new Korean barbecue in her ramen shop. So we're excited about that. And we have 2 chocolate stores, 2 chocolate factories in our town, which, I mean, how many towns can say that?
Hershey only has 1.
Exactly. I know, who would have thought we have it one up on Hershey. And so we're and those are the kind of things that find ways to leverage is not the word, but I think find ways to share that with people. And then people come in for different events, chocolate excursion, chocolate extravaganza, which we've done, and these food strolls to get people into restaurants and things. And I think a lot of people are intimidated just to go into a Mexican restaurant somewhere if they haven't been in there before, or the Japanese restaurant, they're not sure what to order and things. So we did a food stroll to try to get people into these places then they can sample them and then come back later. We hand them menus, coupons, and we give away gift cards, and so fun stuff like that. But I think, you gotta love your assets, embrace them and say, hey, we're gonna love you so much until it hurts, and then until you kick us out the door. And then I think other people then see that and then want to kind of be a part of that too. And and certainly trying to keep things safe, clean, and green. We've really emphasized that, because when I started, I thought, what can we do to? Why would I not come downtown? What would stop me from coming downtown? And it was dark. There was no stores that I want to go to, and it was kind of sketch in some areas. And so we made a point. The borough also was very supportive of the borough of Waynesboro and in brightening up the lights. And we there were several alleys that had been talked about for a while where I finally said, we're going to put lights up in this alley. And, I had to beg for forgiveness on a couple, as Tiny knows, on some of these, but we lit it up. Now you can see downtown Waynesboro from space,
It's very aesthetically appealing.
Thank you.
It really is.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
I can tell that you've put time and energy into that.
And finding partners, because, Mainstreet is a small, tiny nonprofit. We can't pay for a lot of this, but we find the people that, hey, they want their downtown to be nice too,
sure.
And they want to be a part of it, and they don't necessarily want their name on it, but that helps when I can say on Facebook, thank you to GW Electric, and thank you to, the Beneficial Fund and Waco Properties and these different folks who helped invest it. We had this, a grant that it was called a paint grant for Zoe's Chocolates building, and that's how it all started, and it turned into, we can do better. We can get lights. We can make, and there's a walkway about the size, maybe it's bigger than this. Okay, it's twice as big as this. But anyway, in between Zoe's building and this other place. And it was just this dark, scary, bumpy, dangerous looking alley. I said, let's light that up and have some fun with it. Paint, flowers, lights, hide the air conditioners. And we basically put something in the newspaper and put something on social media, and next thing you know, we had almost $14,000.
Wow. And
I called in some favors with some buddies, and next thing you know, we had Chocolate Alley and had these great lights, and then I said, well, let's do it somewhere else. And so we worked on some other projects that, just working together, and that kind of really tied into the safe, clean, and green. And last year I had an intern, Alexa Levick, who her legacy project was to make us even more safer, cleaner, greener. And we got more doggy bags for people that forget that you're supposed to pick up after your dogs, and or don't have bags to pick up, I should say.
It does happen. It does happen. Oh, this is my last bag.
Yeah, so we have now 10 of them, and they were supported by sponsors. And then we also made a point, as most towns do, there's people have trouble with crosswalks, and so we did a video. It wasn't very fancy, but it was still, we had a college intern, my high school intern, and one staff person. We were filming different angles of crosswalks and made sure we told everybody how to properly use a crosswalk, because people forget, or else they just don't, they're on their phones. And we talked to the police chief and to try to get him involved in in reiterating safety and why you look both ways before you God forbid, step out onto the street. So things like that, that we've tried to really, I think has helped us a lot, and people have bought in, and that's the thing. And you got to keep trying and promoting. Social media. We're very. When I started, we had a little under 2,500 page likes on on Mainstreet Waynesboro, now we're over like 15,000. So I mean, it's been a big increase. And Instagram, we've even tried TikTok, not a whole lot, but we're trying, and certainly finding good partners to help promote what we're doing.
And you have your own built-in personal MC.
Exactly.
In
Yes.
Waynesboro.
He has helped us on even before my time. I'm sorry, I keep hitting the microphone. He has been part of tree lighting for
Eons.
Yeah. Now, and we did find out, I think I told you, I think it was last year or 2 years ago, was the 30th year of the tree lighting. I know you haven't been along that long, but Tiny is a big part of the events that we do there, and and he always keeps me on the, because I'm jumping around like I am now a little bit. I'm very energetic and wound up, and he usually keeps me on the, Bill, are you sure you want to do that? I'm like, yeah, what the heck, let's do it, and but we really appreciate Dan's contributions over the years, and we hopefully that continues.
And
absolutely, yeah.
He speaks so highly of you, Bill. He really does.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I do have to lay it on a little thick, given where we are and what we're doing.
I get you.
Bill is I know we're wrapping up the interview and we're running over time, but I wanted to say you're the first person who ever used the word parklet in my presence. I'd never heard that word before, and I'll be honest with you. Not that I have my doubts, but I have my questions. And you brought to life, and I know you'll certainly the way that you are, you'll thank your staff, and that's true. But it brought to life this vision of this space where these buildings were run down. Let's bulldoze them, and let's clean this up, and let's have a place, a venue, so to speak, where we can have live music, we can have gatherings, we can have a market.
Yeah, the market
is so well attended.
Yeah.
And I mean, I love cantaloupe, and I get the freshest, best cantaloupe every single season in the parklet for the market. I think it's great.
Thank you. Well, and it's been because we were really concerned. We didn't know, I'd never run a farmer's market before, and we were hoping for 12 vendors and an average of 100 people per week, and every year we get about 13,000 people total, and we've had I think there's 6 businesses that started at the market that have now brick and mortar locations, one in Gettysburg and the rest in the Waynesboro area. So stuff like that, and again, it's you have a vision of how you want it to be, and then you just gotta work at continuing to follow through with that and get people that are involved. And we got some fun things coming up. We're gonna revamp some of our events, and I'm excited about my 9th year in the position and sharing all the good stuff about downtown Waynesboro.
I'm excited for you. MainstreetWaynesboro.org is the website. Get in touch and see all things that Mainstreet Waynesboro has to offer and what they have coming up.
Thanks so much, Bill.
Thank you.
You are just a joy.
Thank you.
Yeah, I feel like we match our energies match.
I sense that as well. So thank you, Katy and Tiny, for having me.
Of course.
Absolutely.
Coming up, we're going to take a look at news and sports, and it's all powered by the DRB Group, the right partner for your real estate development.
If you'd like to be featured on an upcoming episode of Let's Talk Tri-State, call 717-597-9200 or email letstalk@921thegoat.com.